Welcome to the Creative Well. This is the first video, my first post here on this channel where I'll get the opportunity to share my perspective of wellness, specifically for those who identify as creatives and artists. However, I believe that we're all creators, so if you're open to the idea, I know you'll benefit from the content that will be uploaded on this channel. Everything that I share is what I use and or have experienced to help improve my overall well-being and increase my creativity. So let's get into today's first vlog. This is the one thing that I feel changed my entire life. I used to think that meditation was reserved for certain religion or if you lived in certain regions, and then upon really diving into meditation and realizing that it's not as complex as I was making it, that when my grandmother was sitting on the porch with her eyes closed, not having a book or music or anything, just going within, or when you see elders or people in general going for a walk, a silent walk, those are forms of meditation. It doesn't necessarily take you having to sit down with your legs crossed and your hands in a certain position, although you can do that. There are different forms of meditation that call for different postures, but meditation can be simple. As simple as quieting your mind for 5 minutes. At the top of the pandemic, I made the decision that I was going to come out of the quarantine and out of the lockdown different than how I came in. And when I first made that commitment, I thought that was going to be me coming out with 2 albums, some music videos, just really about music. And what happened was I decided that I wanted to learn different ways that I could deal with everything that was going on. One of the first things I did was meditation. And I remember finding some guided meditations right here on YouTube that helped me commit some time to sit still and to allow the guide to take me through the process of connecting my mind, body, breath, and your spirit. And after some time, that was good. And I'll be honest with you, practicing meditation, I found it difficult in the beginning because I couldn't stop thinking. I couldn't get my thoughts to slow down. Dealing with anxiety and having symptoms of depression and ADHD, my thoughts and feelings were all over the place. And so that is when I discovered the practice of quieting your mind. And how I do it is I sit in a comfortable position. Again, it doesn't have to be with your legs crossed. You could be sitting in a seat. Practicing it this way, in this case, I don't necessarily walk or do anything active. It takes me to be seated so that way I don't have any thoughts and I can just completely be quiet, and I can completely quiet the thoughts as they come. And thoughts will come. But one thing about thoughts, we can't control thoughts from coming. Our brain is like a computer, like a central system that's constantly receiving information. But what we can do is we can calm our nervous system. We can calm ourselves to not think the thoughts. We receive thousands of thoughts every day. Imagine the work that you're putting your brain through trying to think every thought. Not just that, when you think a thought for as little as 17 seconds, what happens is another thought comes to join it, and then another thought comes to join it, and another thought comes to join it, and sooner or later you realize that you've been sitting there 30 minutes and created an entire movie or an entire story in your head. There are meditations where you focus your thoughts. There's meditation where you focus on an object, a thing, an emotion, an activity. So there's different type of meditations, but I found it easier for me to start with quieting the mind so that I can learn to focus my thoughts. And then as I've progressed over my practice, now I can tune into different types of meditations. So quieting the mind allowed me to allow the thought to come in, but release it and let it go. Don't judge it, don't name it, don't identify with it. Don't worry about if it's a good or bad thought. It's just a thought. I'm not gonna think it, I'm gonna let it go on by. And how I bring my focus back is focusing on my breath. So taking deep inhales and long exhales. There are also different breathwork meditations and exercises that you can do, but just starting off with the basics, how I did it, which was quieting the mind. I would bring my attention back to my breath. I would set a timer for 15 minutes, and then I would play some white noise. I like to have it playing through my AirPods so I don't have any other distraction. So white noise or brown noise, just some constant sound that's boring, I guess you could say, I would, for lack of better words, just a constant sound that you're not judging, because you don't want to add layers. Since I am an artist, musician, listening to different meditation tracks and music that they have out there, my mind will sometimes wonder if I hear a chord that I like, or I hear a certain instrument that sounded interesting. And so white noise and brown noise just created a sound that was constant and didn't really trigger my attention to try to judge it. So I played the 15 minutes and just allow myself to sit there with my eyes closed, taking deep breaths, focusing on my breath. When I focus on my breath, and then sometimes I would focus on the sound, and thoughts would come by. But eventually the thoughts would come in slower and slower. The less thinking I did on the thoughts, the slower the thoughts would come. And eventually I just could feel myself getting into a calm, relaxed state. And you can get so tapped into where it almost feels like, you know, that I'm not asleep, but I know I'm not awake. Like I'm right in the in-between, like that feeling you get right before you go to sleep, or that feeling you get as soon as you wake up and you feel yourself waking up into the day. That's when I realized that, okay, we're doing it. But I wanted to make this video just to encourage you and inspire you that even before you get to that point to where you may not feel anything, because the truth is meditation is a practice. So that means the more that you practice, the more connected you get to it, the more benefits you get from it. You see more and more the more you do it. Just learning to quiet my mind set me up for a journey that I'm so grateful that I was curious enough to go on and courageous enough to do it on my own. Of course, there's many resources. I watched videos like this. This practice is for you. I hope that this video inspires you to at least give it a try. At least give yourself the opportunity to try something different. Maybe just try for a week and then go from there. But by all means, you should offer yourself the opportunity to feel better. You should offer yourself the opportunity to increase your well-being. Some people meditate for an hour. Some people can meditate for 30 minutes. I just decided in the beginning to commit myself to at least 15 minutes. And I like to do it at the start of my day, because I feel like if you can get out ahead of your day in a calm state, in a peaceful state, then the rest of your day can be peaceful, because the peace within is reflected without. So the way that you reach peace on the outside of you is to find peace within you. And I believe meditation is one of the most effective means of doing so. Some of the benefits I've experienced with meditation, it's decreased my stress levels, my anxiety, symptoms of depressions, helped tremendously with my problem solving skills. I'm able to approach, uneasy circumstances and experiences with the more level head, and so that way I can process better. So I guess you can say my processing system is totally recalibrated. I was a nervous wreck. I was anxious about so many things, and my life is a lot less chaotic than it was. So there are tons of benefits. I definitely would try it if I was you. So I'll keep saying this: meditation is a practice, and you have to take it day by day, one session at a time. Maybe just start off with 5 minutes. Maybe you can do 10 minutes, or maybe you can work yourself up to 15. Your practice is your practice. When you do it and you are consistent with it, you will see benefits. When I feel better, I create better. When I feel better, I love better. When I feel better, I make better things. Drop a comment below if you'd like to do meditation together. I would love to guide you through meditation. Love to be here to support you in your journey. We end this together. I'm about to go meditate now. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one.